Hey y'all, it's Diane with Shawcraft One in my old barn door, and I wanted to come and just basically, I'm just playing around, um, but I wanted to show you what kind of my idea was. I have a bunch of book covers, just plain book covers of books that I've emptied out, um, you know, little book covers like this, and I don't want to waste them. Those are good hard covers, and so I thought, what can I do with these little book covers? And so then I'm going to show y'all something. Y'all are going to laugh. And this is not all I have. I don't even know if y'all can see it good, this big huge canvas tote just full of vintage book pages that I've pulled out of books. Okay, and I thought, you know what, I want to make a journal with these pages, just these pages. I don't want to put any design paper in it. I just want to use these pages. And so I didn't know how it would look. Let me just put this back up here real quick. I didn't know how it would look. So I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to try it and challenge myself to see if I can make a journal that's cute with it. So I pulled these from that little canvas tote, and then I pulled this cover. This was a Helen Stoner Rice book that I took apart. This is the first page from that book. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to start here. So I pulled a bunch of those papers out, and I made a signature with those vintage book pages. So here are the pages that I chose. And I just thought it turned out super cute. I really like it. And so I thought I would show it to you guys. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to sew it in to the journal cover. And then we're going to decorate it. I thought I would just do like a little series to show you, because most of these pages are from the little packs that are in my shop. And I thought I want to see what I can, what kind of a journal I can make from it. So, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to flip through and show you all the pages that I've put in. I chose 25 pages. I don't know why I have that number stuck in my head, but I usually do 25 pages per signature. I don't know if it's because it's a good, even odd number. It's an odd number, but it comes out an even number of pages, because you had 25 on this side of the signature, 25 on this side. That makes 50. So if you count front and back, you get a 100-page little journal. So I went ahead and I reinforced the spine of the journal, or the book cover, and then I measured my pages and I trimmed them down to fit inside the little journal. So then I thought, I'm going to do a video and show my friends what I'm doing, just to kind of play around and have fun. So here we go. So we're going to sew this into the signature. So I'm going to make myself a little template here. What I usually do is I'll take a piece of graph paper, and I like the graph paper because it already has the lines, and I'm going to trim this one down so that's directly on a line, if I can get a straight cut here. Sometimes this trimmer doesn't want to cut straight. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of make myself a little template here. I'm just going to kind of line this up with the spine and make myself a cut. Excuse me. This is a little tiny spine. Okay. So now we have the width that we want. Now we want the length. So I'm going to cut this down here. I'm just going to mark it so I can cut it. Okay, so now I have my template for my spine. And basically, I usually always do the 3 pamphlet stitch. So I'm going to take this little strip, which is my template. I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to fold it down about halfway between that fold. Okay, so that is going to give me my lines for where I want to punch my holes to sew the signature. So I usually take a pencil or a pen and I mark my lines, and that's just so that I can see them better, because I'm, you know, your eyeballs go a little funky the older you get. I'm just going to say that. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to attempt to fold this little tiny strip in half. I don't know how well it's going to do, but we'll see. So I'm going to fold my strip in half. The tinier the strip is, the harder it is to fold it. And you don't have to do this. I just do it to give myself a little bit more even of, you know, a sewing pattern or sewing whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying now. Y'all just ignore me. And then I'm going to make my line here. And it doesn't have to be straight or beautiful, because you're just basically giving yourself a little bit of a guide. Yeah, that was really crooked. I can't cut straight. I can't draw a straight line. It's the left hand. Okay, so then I'm going to take my strip and I'm going to lay it here. I'm going to put a little T at the top of this so that I know this is the top, so that when I go through my cover and my signature, I'm going to go through the holes the same way. All right, now I'm going to get real fancy here, y'all. Y'all ready? I have this little, it's a knee pad, a kneeling pad. I got it from the dollar store. This is what I use to punch my holes, okay? So I just slide it right up under there. And then I line my template up with my spine. And I take my handy dandy little special tool, which is just a push pin. And I push my holes right through the center of my grid lines. And I'm going to jiggle it just a little bit to make sure my holes are, you know, a good enough size to where I can see them on the other side. And now I have my holes in the center of my spine. Okay, so now that that's finished, I'm going to take my signature and I'm just going to make sure everything's kind of lined up the way I want it. And I don't like my pages lined up perfectly. So I like for them to be a little off from each other. But as long as, you know, the outside edges are lined up, that's my basic goal. Okay. So then I'm going to take my signature, I'm going to fold this back up, and I'm going to plop this down in the center of my signature, making sure that my little T is at the top of my signature. Plop that down in there backwards, didn't I? Okay. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to make sure that I have an even amount of extra on this end as I do on this end, so that my signature sits directly into the center of my book. And this one's a little hard because it's so tiny. So I'm just going to do it like this, and I'm going to slide this up some. And about right there, it looks like it's centered. Now, I'm going to fold this up. I'm going to take my handy dandy old phone book and I'm going to slide my signature right down into my phone book and close it up. The reason I do that is because this will help your holes line up straight through the center versus, you know, how sometimes when you punch your holes, it kind of comes out the side of the signature page. Well, this helps to prevent that. It doesn't always prevent it, but 95% of the time it prevents it. So then I'm going to open it up just a little bit, and I'm going to take my little punch tool here. Got this from Hobby Lobby recently. And I'm going to go to that center signature, or the center of the signature in the middle hole, and I'm going to just kind of line it up. I'm going to jiggle my book a little bit to make sure that everything lines up with the center of the phone book spine, and then I'm just going to push through. Okay, and then I'm going to pull that back out, maybe. And I'm going to go to the next hole. And I find that it's easier to go to the hole at the top because I can hold the top with this finger so that my template doesn't move. And then I'm just going to go down into that hole. Whoops. Okay, and then I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to make sure that this stays lined up. And then I'm going to close it. And I'm going to flip it around this way. And the only reason I do that is because I can take this finger and I can hold it in place so that it doesn't move while I'm punching my holes. So then I'm just going to go to this one and I'm going to punch my hole through. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to pull this out and get rid of these. And then you can see here, see if I can hold it up to where it will focus. You have your holes through the center of your signature. I don't know if that's focusing really well for you to be able to see it, but it's through the center. And it didn't go out, you know, like it didn't come out the side here. Alright, so now we are ready to sew our signature in. So I think I have some of this waxed cord. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And y'all, this is one of the best investments I have made. Simply because it helps my hands. It doesn't hurt my hands so bad to sew the signature in. And you don't lose your cord as bad. So I'll show you what I mean. So basically I'm just going to measure out double of what the length of my book is. And then I'm going to go about halfway more. And I'm going to cut off my cord. And then I'm going to have this big long needle. It's a doll making needle. And it helps, you know, if you have crampy hands or whatever, makes it a little easier to sew your signatures in. So now I'm going to find the center of my signature. And I'm going to sew my pages into my book. Make sure I don't have it upside down. Not that it's going to matter because I'll probably cover that spine, but still. And sometimes, if it don't want to wiggle through, excuse my reach, I'm going to take some pliers and pull that needle on through. It just makes it a little easier on my hands. So I'm going to leave myself a tail. And then I'm going to go back through the bottom. And I just messed up my signature, so I'm probably going to have to do it page by page. What a pain, but that's okay. Make sure you don't pull your tail through. And then I'm going to go here and find my holes. And I did get it. I messed up my alignment. So if I do that, I just kind of go through and I'll just pull a few pages at a time onto my needle. There is no perfect way to do this. And sometimes you mess up. And that's okay. Because if you mess up, you just figure out a way to fix it. That's why I love junk journaling. Because, you know, I mess up a lot. But in junk journaling, you can fix it. Okay, almost lost my little tail there. That's why I make my tail that long. Because when my book pages slide around, I don't lose it and have to start all over again. Alright, so now we're going to take it through there, and then I'm going to go, some people go to the top and sew through and then come back through the center. I find that it's a little bit easier to go through the center first and weave back around through the top. It just works better for me. It may not work better for everybody else, but it works better for me because I can leave my book a little bit loose. I can leave my signature a little bit loose while I'm sewing, and then after I'm finished sewing everything in, I can go back and tighten everything up before I tie off my signature. And I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. So then I'm going to turn this way, come back through my bottom hole, or in this case I think it's actually the top hole. Slide my needle down a little bit because my string is getting shorter. And then I'm going to go through here. This is just an easy way for me to do it. I know there's a lot of people who can go straight through the book and straight through the signatures. I just do it better this way. Whoops. It just works better for me this way, and it's easier on my hands. So I'm just going to slide my pages onto my needle little by little, making sure that I have everything, and that comes right back through the center. Okay, now before I tie off my signature, I'm going to go here and I'm going to wiggle my cord and see how loose that is. That's not tight enough for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the center and I'm going to take this piece. Now you got to have a good strong cord, and that's why I love this cord, is because it's really strong. So I've pulled that tight, and then I'm going to go right here and pull this one tight. And then, see, my cord's a little tighter now, but still not as tight as I want it. So I'm going to pull this tight, pull this through here, and then I'm going to pull up on this middle string. See how it gave a little? So that tightens everything up. See, those are much tighter now. So then, once I get everything tightened up, I'm going to push this cord to this side, and then I'm going to just sew underneath there. And that way, basically, your goal is to have your strings on different sides of the center. Okay, so then I can take my needle off, and I'm going to go ahead and tie this off. And I usually tie it 3 times just because I'm a freak and I'm always afraid that it's going to come loose if I just tie it twice. So I usually go 3 times. And then just snip those off. Now these I save and I use them in clusters. So I'll put this in my little cluster basket that I have here. I have a little basket that I keep all my little teeny tiny stuff for when I want to make clusters. Okay, so now we have our signature sewn in. Let me see where we're at on time. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is stop the video here, and then we'll come back and we'll start decorating. And I think I'm probably going to have to make some things to use to decorate it with. So, I don't know, it might just be like a little series. We'll see. So anyways, if you have comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit like. If you aren't yet a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe, because I'm going to be doing, and I have done in the past, videos like this before. So I just, you know, kind of like to have fun sometimes. But you see how tight my signature is now? That book's not going anywhere. And I'm a freak about that, because I want to make sure that when I put these books together, they stay together really well. So anyways, we'll come back in the next video and we will start decorating our journal, and we'll see where it goes. So thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day. Big hugs.